Welcome to another InWheelTime podcast. Welcome to the award-winning InWheelTime Car Talk Show. Just ahead, we talk to Mr. California, author, singer, songwriter, and car god, Jack Nerad. Jeff has this week's Motor Minute, and we review the new Toyota Prius. Don't laugh. You're going to be interested to hear about what I got to say about the Toyota Prius in this segment of the InWheelTime Car Talk Show. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world Mars over there in Neaterville, Texas. We always need more Jeff Zekin here in the beautiful Houston area. Our chief engineer, David Ainsley, is vacationing today. The UP of Michigan, where the current temperature is 55 degrees. Yeah. All of us are eating our hearts out. Hello, I'm Don Armstrong. Glad that you could join us on this Saturday for our live broadcast. And it's been an interesting week, fun-filled week for me. How about you, Jeffrey?
Yeah, pretty decent. Pretty good week.
Well, I had, as I mentioned, I had the Toyota Prius. I'm going to review that car. I had it, and I say what you will. It's not the original Prius. This is a zoomy little car that gets great gas mileage. Matter of fact, let's go right now to Southern California. Who's up and at 'em this morning? That would be singer-songwriter Jack Nerad. Jack, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. How did you know about my music career? I kind of kept that on the down low, but
well,
I do sing a little bit, you know. And
yeah, we saw you in that Jay-Z video.
Right. Yeah. That was me, wasn't it?
One of the background dancers.
Yeah.
Well, Jack, it's great to see you this morning. How are you, my friend?
I am doing great. I'm doing terrifically well.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm not sure about your governor, but that's another story for another day.
Yeah, I'm not sure about our governor either. But
yeah. So as I said in the tease, and I just repeated, the Toyota Prius, have you driven one of those?
I have, yeah. I was on the launch of, I think, the most recent one, yeah.
I don't know about you. And, you know, it really came with some bad rap after it got going. And granted, it probably wasn't the best looking car originally, but it has evolved. And not only technologically evolved, but it has also evolved in body shape. And to me,
aesthetics.
I fell in love with the car.
There's good reason to do that. Absolutely. I think what a lot of people don't realize is how good hybrids are these days to drive. I mean, how fun they are to drive. And, you know, that little electric amount of electric torque just adds a lot. I think it's really, they're really terrific. And
I think that a lot of it has to be as a salute to Toyota for their technology, because basically that technology is across the board now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so,
yeah, I mean, you see that in Camry, for example. I mean, you can't get a Camry that isn't a hybrid these days. So there's a lot to like about that.
So what's going on with you?
Well, we're trying to sort out what's going to happen now, now that the federal tax credits for EVs are gone. You know, there's much gnashing of teeth in some channels over that. So we're going to see whether sales of EVs crater or not. I think that's the big issue for October. We'll see what happens there. I mean, some manufacturers are trying to mitigate against that.
Yes, and the suppliers, they're going crazy. Some of them are going out of business. I'm still shocked and surprised about the Fram Automotive supply, the major company. Mm-hmm. But I think that there's some shenanigans going on there that put them in this predicament. What do you think?
There could well be. There could well be, because, you know, that's a brand that those of us who work on our cars and have worked on our cars for a long time, you know, it's just top front and center, right? I mean, this is a brand that we all know about. So it's hard to imagine how that could have been frittered away, but who knows? Who knows?
Fram and windshield wipers, the two things that you've got on your car that you change out all the time.
Right.
How does a company go bankrupt like that? I just don't understand it. But it certainly has sent shivers throughout the automotive industry, because, you know, new cars come with wiper blades and oil filters, and they don't just make the Fram brand, as you well know. They've got their generics and specialty brands that they make for, NADA and all of the other people out there that sell car parts.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a giant supplier, and the supplier base for the auto industry employs so many people in the United States, maybe as many as the car manufacturers themselves. So it's a big deal.
Well, back to the actual EV stuff. I know that a lot of the manufacturers have pulled way back. Matter of fact, I'm going to do a story later on about the EVs that they had planned, but now they're saying, no, we're not going to do that. Or they've put them off for at least a couple of years. Battery plants that were planned or in the process of being built, they've stopped all of that. And Jack, my take on, and I want you to give me your take on it. With the EVs, I've said all along, why does an EV have to have the government's help? Okay, comes a point where you say they need to compete against the rest of the cars in the market. Don't you agree?
I totally agree. You have to take the training wheels off at some point. I think we were, 15 years into something like that into subsidies for these things. And basically, I've had some industry insiders talk about this, and essentially it was a $7,500 subsidy for each car manufacturer for each car sold, right? I mean, that's really what happened. Now we're going to see if they can swim without the flotation device, right?
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. That was mentioned last week, that it's a sink or swim kind of thing. Right. If you want to do this, you want to play in these waters, here's how we're going to play. And that's why they're making those announcements.
And let's just face the fact. It's not as if all of the EV sales have gone to zero. No. They're still selling EVs despite the fact that they're not getting the 7,500. My take is, hey, if you want an EV, you're going to buy an EV because there's all sorts of different price ranges, just like a regular car.
Different styles and all that.
Yeah. I agree with you, and that's fine. And for a lot of people, an EV works, and for a lot of people, an EV doesn't work, and that's the important thing. I think consumer choice is a good thing, right?
Well, and GM and Ford, I think that they were trying to cheat the system and load up on the borrower's side, and we're just going to go ahead and buy them, and we'll give you the money back, and they both backed out of that deal pretty quickly.
Real quick.
Yeah, rightly so, because it seemed pretty hinky. We reported on that on our show a couple of weeks ago, too. It's just, this doesn't seem quite right, does it?
Yeah, no, it does not. So have you driven anything fun and exciting lately?
I have, actually. I was recently, just last week, I think, in the Toyota GR86 Hakone edition. Which is a lot of fun. I mean, what it struck me was this is one of the few cars, literal cars, and certainly sports cars that I've driven for a long, long time, because probably as you guys do, I mean, we're driving a lot of SUVs and crossovers and reviewing those because that's what people are buying. But it was really kind of a breath of fresh air to get into this, little sports car. It reminded me a lot of the RX-7 I had years and years ago, probably 30 years ago now.
You're showing your age.
Yeah. I had that in middle age, Don. So.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm right with you.
Yeah.
So does it ride as rough as the regular GR86?
Kinda. I mean, you have to put up with. Doesn't have a lot of suspension travel, not a lot of compliance, as they say in the industry. It's not all that soft riding. I think it could use more horsepower. But I guess I think everything could use a little more horsepower. Right?
So what denotes this special version of it?
It's a paint treatment. There's some special things inside. They do different things to. I think there's 860 of them available for the particular year that they're out. It's kind of cool. It's got kind of a green paint color to it that's interesting, different than anything else you see. I mean, we don't see color cars anymore, right? You see black, silver, and white cars is pretty much what you see. So I thought it was fun. It was cool to do. I like a lot of Japanese cars. It's kind of like the Miata in a way, in that it's kind of a 7/8 scale car.
Yeah,
for Americans. If you're Our size, maybe I feel a little bit too big for it, and I'm not that big a guy.
Well, it's funny you should say that because I got to drive this anniversary edition of the Mazda Miata here a few weeks back. And I love the car. Paint was beautiful. I love the special touches that they put on it. But I forgot how small it is. My knees almost touched the dashboard.
Yeah. It hasn't grown, has it?
No.
To its credit, in a lot of ways, I think that's pretty cool because, the way that car companies improve a lot of vehicles is just to make them bigger. And then you need more motor, and then you need this and that.
More
and they
brakes
become
and
more
everything else.
expensive. And I guess that's another big industry issue is affordability because everything, gets bigger and, more filled with stuff, and fewer and fewer people can afford them. It's
Throw some turbos on it.
Yeah,
exactly.
that's what
And
everybody
we're
does.
doing that, right and left, aren't they?
Well, it's interesting that you should bring that up, that they grow all of these brands. For instance, the Toyota Highlander, when it went on the market, man, that thing they sold like hotcakes. And I think a lot of it had to do with the size of it. Now it's darn near a full size. I think they even have a 3-row version.
Yeah, like a Tahoe.
It's like, what is the thought process? So the only thing I can think of is the fact that they're using the name for people that have bought it, loved it before. Hey, we got a new model. It's bigger. Oh my gosh, we're going to sell X amount of these just by, repeat business. Mm-hmm. Is that what your take is?
I think some of it is that. And I think if you're the chief engineer on a particular program, let's say you're chief engineer on the Toyota Highlander, for example, how do you make that vehicle better than before? How do you make the next generation better than before, right? So maybe customers want a little more room. Maybe they want a 3rd row that's usable. Maybe they want a little more horsepower. Maybe they want more safety equipment than before. And even if they don't, that seems like the way you would, quote unquote, improve it, right? I think one of the geniuses of the Volkswagen Beetle was it didn't change very much for like 30 years, right?
Exactly.
And they figured out how to build them, and anybody could pretty much fix them. By the side of the road, you could fix them. Oftentimes, I ended up doing that myself a few times.
If you've got a vehicle that works and people are buying it, why would you want to tinker with it? Sure, there's probably some things aesthetically, maybe a fender tweak here, a grill tweak there, but if it's working, why do that?
Yeah. Well, like you were talking about the Volkswagen, it's the same principle. They modified or they improved the mechanics. The engine got a little bit bigger, got a little more horsepower over the years. They got to change their heating system for the passengers. There's a lot of ways, like just said, to improve it without necessarily making it bigger.
Yeah.
Well, I guess there's many schools of thought on that. And Jack, you're probably more in the know on this. I would imagine because there's so much money involved in not only designing and building a brand new vehicle, but there is also a huge take on whether or not it's going to be successful in the marketplace. Why would you not have a focus group? It seems to me that they do they not?
Yeah, they do, but it's interesting. I worked within car companies for a long time, about 10, 15 years. I work for car companies, or I work for suppliers to car companies. When I left my journalist career for a while, thank heavens I'm back in it, because this is what I love to do. But what you find out there is there's a lot of things. Maybe they want consumers to kind of endorse their own opinions about stuff. So maybe the focus groups aren't as straight up in terms of what they're saying yes or no to than you might think. I think there's a lot of manipulation that goes on. You would think that they would want just give me the real opinion, your real opinions, right? But
right.
I think that information gets stacked a little bit.
Well, it's like a survey. You can set it up to get the answers you want, not necessarily the answers you're looking for.
Yes, absolutely, Mike.
And that was one of the things back in my radio days. I guess there's still radio days, but back in the day of radio, they did, especially the very successful radio stations, they did focus groups focused on the actual music. Mm-hmm. And they would play a snippet of a song. Do you recognize the song? Mm-hmm. Do you like the song? What do you know about the song? And that kind of guided them for the next 3, 4, 5 months until the next focus group as to what songs they were going to play and what direction they were going to go in. Do they play the latest releases? Are they really more successful with some of the oldies out there? How old? That sort of thing. And the focus groups were part of the process of being a successful radio station. And I would like to think that the auto companies are doing the same thing. Do they actually look at some of these influencers, Jack?
Yeah, they do. And, I've been on both sides of focus groups. I've been a participant in focus groups, and sometimes they'll have journalist panel focus groups as well as, that's a really bad thing for product planners, actually, because auto journalists often want the wrong things. They were things that consumers don't want. They want cars that handle real sharp, but don't ride all that well. They always want more horsepower. They want things that the typical consumer doesn't find useful. So you have that going on. But I think they listen to focus groups to an extent. I think the really smart companies listen better, pay more attention. I think Toyota is an example of that versus, some of the other companies that maybe go astray a bit.
Well, can I just go ahead and play that card, if I may? Would somebody please make it easy to turn off the lane keeping assist? I hate fighting the car.
Right. Well, I'm pretty close to the JD Power folks. I worked there long ago, and I still, follow them very closely. And that's one of the biggest bugaboos of people. I mean, people find that so dissatisfying. Lane keeping, it's just, again, it fights you, right? I mean, there are times when you want to cross that white line, right?
Exactly.
Really good reasons to do that.
I've got mine turned off.
Yeah. So the other thing that I wanted to talk to you about, if we can stray just a moment, is Only One Thing Stays the Same, a new book by Jack Nerad.
There you go.
Well, that's very nice of you to talk about that. It's my second crime novel. It's going quite well. It's I think an interesting story. It's about a blue collar worker who kind of gets involved with two women, and they end up kind of confounding him and being smarter than he is, which isn't so surprising, is it?
No,
we've all run into women who are smarter than us, right? But there's some interesting crime involved, and this and that. I think there's a lot of surprises.
I've solved it. The crime is he got two women. That's the crime.
That's one of the crimes. Yeah. One of the problems
next book.
right there.
Exactly. Right. Well, so have you had your books translated into the spoken word?
I'm thinking about doing that, and I'd like to voice them myself. There's a situation now where AI can do it, and I've heard some kind of AI renditions of books, and they're pretty good. But you're a voice guy, Don. You know that the inflection you put on it is maybe better than a machine would. I hope that's the case.
There is one guy that is used too much, and you hear him all the time, and it's AI generated. And hey, look, good for that. I'm glad that exists. But if you really want a human touch to it, you hire a human voice.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've had an agent for years and years and years, and I've been fairly successful at doing voiceovers in this industry here in Houston in particular. And I have some very good friends that are very good at what they do. A very close friend of mine, as a matter of fact, does all of the Comic-Con stuff, the anime from Japan, and he does all the translations. Listen, he goes to these conventions, they fly him there, they put him up, they pay him great money to make personal appearances. I'm going, Lord Death, you've got to be kidding me. That's one of his characters.
There you go.
And he started off as a voice guy. He wasn't in radio originally, but he was a voice actor. So great guy. There's good money to be made if you can get the work. Yeah. Well, Jack, it's always great to talk to you. What are you going to be working on here in the next month?
I've got another book that I'm working on, a nonfiction. That I'm working on, so that's one of the things, and of course we do the radio show each week, and the associated associated YouTube channel and all of that stuff. So that keeps me fairly busy, and I'm writing vehicle reviews still for jdpower.com. So I'm a busy guy.
Yeah, you are. You are. And I hope the price of gas stays down for you out there in
Yeah,
California.
well, it's under $5, so we're celebrating out here. Yeah.
Yeah, way to go. Jack, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, my friend. We love you to death, and let's talk next month.
I love that. I love that. Always great to talk to you guys. I hope you have a wonderful day today.
Thank you,
Thank you, Jack.
Take care. All right. Hey, we invite you to join our live broadcast if you're listening on a podcast. Our talk show airs every Saturday live, 10 to noon Central Time on InWheelTime.com, YouTube, and Facebook. Get one of those today. Coming up, a review of the Toyota Prius, plus Jeff's Motor Minute, and the InWheelTime Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break.
You've waited all summer, and it's finally here. The Tailpipes and Tacos Fall 25 Cruise-In Car Show. It's been a while, but the popular Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In returns to the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy, Saturday, October 18th. Make any donation to Shirley's Kids and get a free breakfast taco. There'll be mimosas and Bloody Marys, too. Get to the best cruise-in of the year. Tailpipes and Tacos Car Show, Saturday, October 18th, 8 to 11 a.m. Cruise in, make a donation of any amount, and grab a free Lupi Tortilla breakfast taco. Tailpipes and Tacos only happens at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy, 703 West Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of the Katy Freeway. Join the car camaraderie, and your car will automatically compete for one of 3 Chili Pepper trophies at no charge. Fall is here, and what better way to celebrate than with a free taco at Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise-In Car Show, Saturday, October 18th, 8 to 11 a.m. It's the cruise-in you won't want to miss. Lupi Tortillas, Tailpipes and Tacos in Katy.
Time to fire up those engines and pay tribute to the folks who make freedom possible. Bastrop's own Heroes in Hot Rods is rolling in for Veterans Day weekend. Friday night, downtown cruise. Saturday, 400 of the coolest rides in Texas. Proceeds help veterans, shelters, food pantries, and scholarships. Sponsored by Craig's Jewelry. November 7th and 8th, Main Street, Bastrop. Don't miss it.
Every week.
You gotta love it.
Yeah, something.
That's hometown cooking there.
Well, yeah. Welcome back to the InWheelTime Car Talk Show. Time now for Jeff's Motor Minute.
Yeah, I actually had 2. I'm going to pick one of these. This is my favorite. Have you all had S&H green stamps growing up when you were a kid?
Absolutely.
Well, here we go. Many of us probably grew up with the
In
trade
that
stamp
horrible
program.
store that you used to go and retrieve all the junk.
Many families did household things, small appliances, decorative home furnishings. In 1965 catalog, in the top value stamps, that's what it was called. In this catalog, you could exchange full stamp books for Ford automobiles and small motorbikes. The Ford Falcon was 771 books. The Econoline wagon was 807 books, and the Mustang was 718 books. The Fairlane Coupe was 766.
Yep.
So Sperry Hutchinson began the stamps for U.S. retailers in 1896, and it went all the way through. It had a heyday in 63, and they've actually kind of dropped it around 1980, a little bit earlier. But you would pay $2.45. In today's money, it was $25, a little over, for a book. Now, the stamps were issued in denominations of 1 10, 50 points, perforated with a gum reverse side. Shoppers accumulated the stamps. Now, the books contained 24 pages. Mike, get a pencil and your calculator. You get ready for this.
I got it.
The book contained 24 pages, filling the page requirement of 50 points. So each book contained 1,200 points. Shoppers could exchange the filled books for premiums, including housewares, like we said, local green stamps, store catalogs, and things of that nature. Now, in order to buy a Ford Falcon for 771 book, the Falcon was a 105 horsepower engine, 3-speed manual transmission, all vinyl interior,
A stripper.
full with 3 passenger seats, oh boy, and foam padded cushions, heater, defroster, 2-spoke steering wheel, and so on. And it had a twice-a-year maintenance program from Ford, if it was not recalled. Falcon Deluxe Club Wagon, 807 books, 105 horsepower, synchro smooth 3-speed transmission, all vinyl interior, 3-spoke deep dish steering wheel, front seat belts, heaters, and defroster. So you could actually go to your S&H green stamps, and if you had enough books, you could buy a car.
Order a car.
Order a car.
Because I don't think they kept them in stock.
No, but they would deliver it to you. That was part of the deal. And they got pictures and
Man,
things.
you'd have to have a couple of wagons to haul that many books.
Yeah, and it's a lot of money. I broke it for $1,200.
That's a lot of saliva too.
It's about $95,000 worth of purchases you would have to do to buy a car back in the day.
Well, but remember, they gave the stamps away at the grocery store,
Right.
at least for us.
Well, they did. You had to have a certain plateau to get a 5 or 10 cent
Correct.
stamp or something.
Yeah.
That was given. Yeah. But to do that, if you added them all up in today's money, is about 95 grand.
We had big bonus stamps.
Yeah.
They went from S&H to big bonus
You
at
can
the
still
wine
taste the
store.
glue on the back of it.
Time now for this hour's car review. I had a chance to drive the 2025 Toyota Prius. Don't laugh, listen to this. Final assembly location, Toyota Aichi, Japan. Available trim levels, SE, XSE, and Premium. I had the Premium. This is a plug-in hybrid sedan. Seats 5 people. It's small. Exterior changes from last model year. It was all new. This is a new trim name for 2025. It was all new in 2023. Exterior features. The most aerodynamic car in everyday models. I think that this thing is sleek. The windshield is sloped just like the front hood all the way down to the pavement. Attractive, skinny headlights with small grille opening at the lower end of the front end. Slick, big wheels. Hatchback is sleek with attractive lighting. What I liked, its attractiveness. It's not just a hybrid model anymore. This is probably one of the most attractive sedans. I'd buy it. Interior highlights. Unique 2-cluster dash design with a big infotainment screen in the middle. Sleek, comfortable seating up front. Leg and headroom is limited in the back. Drive mode controls on the center console. HVAC controls on the lower dash is well placed, and the controls are easy to use. Trunk room is limited due to its fastback design. What I liked, the convenient controls. What could use improvement? Well, the instrument cluster in front of the driver is a little bit too far away from the driver, in my opinion, and sometimes it was blocked by the steering wheel. It comes with a 2-liter gasoline 4-cylinder engine with 220 horsepower combined. That's a ton of horsepower, friends, for this little car. Torque, tons. Transmission, CVT automatic. And here is where you hit home runs. Combined gas mileage with gas and electric together is 114 miles per gallon electric. I got 43.7 miles per gallon over 460.6 miles. What I liked, plenty of gasoline only power. I did not plug it in. If you want to plug it in, you can probably get about 40 miles of range with nothing but the battery.
Wow.
What could use improvement? Nothing. Stick with it. This is a good deal. What I liked about it, the smooth ride. What could use improvement? Nothing. Pricing? Base trim price, $40,070. Price as tested with a few options, $44,324. The base model price, all the engines are the same gas mileage. The base model price is $33,375.
Wow.
Competitors, there really isn't any, but here's some that are close. Kia Niro plug-in, $34,490. Hyundai Tucson plug-in, $39,730. These are starting prices. And the Honda Civic Hybrid, $28,750. And that's my review of the 2025 Toyota Prius. Next week, we're going to review the brand new Toyota 4Runner, and we hope that you'll tune in for that next week. Same bat channel, same bat price.
Yep.
All right. Coming up, our next segment, lots of stuff, including a special guest, somebody that likes statistics. You're going to love this. We invite you to stay tuned here on the InWheelTime Car Talk Show. Back after this.
You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. Rev up your engines. It's time to roll back in style at the Back to the Past Car Show. Join the Spring Branch Senior High School Foundation Saturday, October 18th at Cornerstone Academy, 9016 Westview Drive in Houston. Classic cars, trucks, and motorcycles. Family fun, food, music, and memories. There's something for everyone. Proceeds benefit local students and programs. Don't miss the shine, the chrome, and the nostalgia. 10 to 2, Saturday, October 18th, Back to the Past Car Show. SpringbranchBears.com/car show for more information. InWheelTime will be there too.
That's it for this podcast episode of the InWheelTime Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.